That's really interesting. I've used your name so many times when talking to people as the perfect example of the right way of doing things. So my hat's off to you for those accomplishments.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And so one of the things that rewinding back to those 20 months when you were first getting things started, one of the analogies that you used out of the gate was we are the Uber for seniors. And then based on customer feedback, you realized that's not the analogy that we have to use anymore. So
Mhm.
talk about that process, why you decided to make the change, and how you
Mhm.
describe yourself today.
Yeah, so exactly. People like the concept of Uber, but Uber indicates more of a casual relationship. I was an Uber driver for like 3 years, so um, I went through that whole process and I understand how their business works. It's not about relationship; it's about moving bodies. And so, when you're talking to a family member that is responsible for coordinating and managing the care of their loved ones, that are, that have some cognitive or physical challenges, they're not really interested in non-relational uh, process. They want to be able to relax and know that whoever is caring for their loved one is going to do just as they would do for their family member if they were there. So the switch came because we didn't want people to miscategorize us as simply moving bodies. This is really a relationship oriented business. So our drivers have relationship with those families. They have relationship with the client that they're taking to the doctors or to the grocery stores, or in some cases, we also offer personal shopping. They have to know their habits, what they like, what they don't like. It's a very personal relationship, which is very much different from Uber. Now, where we might be similar to Uber is that we do use technology to deploy the service for efficiency reasons, but that's not the motivating factor as to why a customer chooses us. It's a more of a convenience for them, but they're really making that decision based on the fact that we provide a relationship.
Well, and not to mention, if you really think about it, Uber and Uber things are very on demand, right? And it
Mm-hmm.
sounds like you're something that SeniorRuns is something that you have to book at some point in the past, where Uber is
Mm-hmm.
like, I need this thing right now. And I think that
Exactly.
Uber has been trivialized by so many companies because Silicon Valley and performances, to use a word from last week's Gary Plagg, which I probably pronounced his last name incorrectly right there. If he's listening, he's probably like, oh gosh, Zach Miller, you cannot pronounce his last name. But we over trivialize certain words because we think it makes people understand us better, when actually I believe that when we use words like that, like Uber for whatever, it actually hurts our businesses more
Mm-hmm.
than helps, because people then think in their minds, okay, Uber does this thing, that means when, because seen things like Uber for lawn care, right? Well, if that
Mm-hmm.
person can't mow my lawn like right now, then it's not an on-demand service. If I have
Mm-hmm.
to book this thing, 3 weeks from now, it's not really Uber for that thing. It just so happens to be some sort of transactional thing that
Mm-hmm.
might make a transaction similar to an Uber. But I like the way that you said that there. So when you got off that word of using Uber to figure out what the customer that the market actually wanted from a you perspective, from a Jaynee perspective, was that something that was difficult to look at and say, hey, like I wanted it to be this? And did you like try and like really hold on to it, or were you just like, as black and white, like we're done with it, let's go?
Yeah, it was let's go and let's do what the market wants, right? So if I launched this company in 2013 and transitioned and pivoted to incorporating transportation, then at that point it was kind of a, either you're going to do it the market's way and survive, or you're not and you're going to die. So for me, I didn't have time to debate my own ego
Yeah.
and my own thinking. I had to get out of my head and get into the heads of people that are demanding this service and want to use this service.
A wise person just once said, innovate or die. And I think that's kind
Mm-hmm.
of what you're saying,
Yep,
right? So
that's it.
that's great. I think even in times like COVID, right? You see all these
Mm-hmm.
people that are like, oh, I can't wait for normal to come back. It's like, Well, how many
Mm.
opportunities did you miss because you had a 6-month period where you didn't do anything? Right.
Yep.
Think about how many people during this, now 6 months, right? How many people gave up on their New Year's resolution because well, I hate New Year resolutions anyway, but how many people gave up on those because, I'm not supposed to do anything now?
Exactly.
It's
That's
kind of ridiculous.
exactly.
So